Hello and welcome to another video, and this is actually not the video I was planning to post, but as you guys know on the channel, I got to talk about GameStop news, and we have had probably arguably the biggest thing happen to GameStop today that has happened with this company this entire year. If you're new here on the channel, I host a podcast with two friends of mine. One is a former GameStop manager along with me. We answer questions all the time about GameStop. We're constantly talking about GameStop as a company, but I don't think either of us were prepared for the literal nuclear meltdown that people are having today over this news. So let's go ahead and get right to it because it's that big of a fucking deal. All right, so here we go. If you didn't know, Ryan Cohen is now the chief executive officer of GameStop. If you don't know who this person is, this is the shit guy who runs Chewy.com. He's also ruined a couple other big retail businesses, including Buy Baby, if you remember that company, totally gone. This man has a fucking history of buying companies and basically ousting them and then taking all of that money when the company goes under and maybe churning it into a website, which we've said for a while on podcast 572, like that's probably the end goal here is GameStop is going to become GameStop.com and physical locations are going to shutter. That's been my prediction for a while, and it seems like that's coming true a lot quicker than anybody had anticipated. But let's go ahead and jump right in here with this man's email. So this guy took over as CEO today. He sent out this email, and it says as follows. I'm going to read it verbatim, and then we'll get into it. Sent on behalf of Ryan Cohen, Chief Executive Officer, to all GameStop corporate associates. I will be straight to the point. It is not sustainable for GameStop to operate a money-losing business. The mission is to operate a hyper efficiently and profitability. Our expense structure must allow us to endure any adverse scenario, whether it's a difficult economy or revenue declaration from shrinking software. We must be profitable. Our job is to make sure GameStop is here for decades to come. Extreme frugality is required. Every expense at the company must be scrutinized under a microscope and all waste eliminated. The company has no use for delegators and money wasters. I expect everyone to treat company money like their own and lead by example. Prospering in retail means survival. If we survive, we stay in the game. Survival is avoiding the deadly sins that often lead retailers to self-destruct. This is usually a result of the following: buying bad inventory, using leverage, and running expenses too high. By avoiding these self-inflicted mistakes and focusing on the basics, GameStop can be here for a long time. I expect everyone to roll up their sleeves and work hard. I'm not getting paid, so I'm either going down with the ship or turning the company around. I much prefer the latter. It won't be easy. Best of luck to us all. Holy shit. This email is fucking insane. Like written by like a madman or something. Like the way this is being treated. And again, I should preface, this email was sent out to corporate leaders. So this wasn't sent to people at a store level, but let's be fair. This is what happens every fucking time. When this stuff happens, it leaks. Everybody gets a piece of it. GameStop, like if you've never worked for GameStop, you're on the other side of the counter, you've never seen this. GameStop is one of the biggest like gossip buckets you'll ever run into for a company. Like people know what's going on as fast as fucking possible. So it's not surprising that basically every employee knows that this email was sent out. And I don't think this guy taking over, we're just going to call him Chewy because that's what I always refer to him as on the podcast. He doesn't fucking care. He's going to start eliminating positions. He's going to cut the fat. Things are going to rapidly move in what I would tell you is the end. Here, this is the end. We've talked for years about GameStop is coming to an end. This company is going to go under. We're in it now. We are officially, with this email being sent out, we are officially in the end times of GameStop. And in the next year and a half, by 2025, I don't think GameStop's going to exist the way you and I know GameStop today. I think the website is still going to exist, but I think brick and mortar GameStop stores, they're done. It's over. right now, if you don't even know what's going on with GameStop, I'll give you a little background. There are a lot of what's called SL2 positions at GameStop. What that means is that store managers are actually managing 2 stores. So they have to split their time between 2 different locations. And these are not locations that are like across town. Some managers are driving, upwards of 2 hours away from wherever they live and wherever their home store is to manage a different fucking store. This has been going on for a while because GameStop is trimming as much fucking fat as they can to try and stay afloat. It's only going to get worse. I don't know if you've heard as well, the general game advisor position, the GA position, that was eliminated back in July. You're not going to see a regular employee anymore. Anyone that is employed at a GameStop retail location today is only a key holder. That is the only way it works now. So, and that again, that just goes to verify, like, they want one person running that store as much as possible. I think they will maybe find a way, because theoretically you can't just have one employee do that 7 days a week. You have to give them time off. You can't, like, employees can't be working 7 days a week. So, but the goal is to have one person run one store. That's all they want. That's what they've been trying to push for a while, and it's not really possible, but you're not going to see 2, 3, 4 employees. I'll tell you, the store in my town, which I have not been in physically since the beginning of summer, so it's been a couple months, they're down to 2 people, okay? It's just the manager and the assistant manager. If one of them gets sick, I overheard a conversation one of the times I was in there, if one of them gets sick or they want to take off, it is a fucking nightmare because there's only one other person that works at this store. Like, that is the drastic, like, level we're at with GameStop. And it doesn't even go just there. I think there are, like, if there's anything positive I'll say about this is, like, you're going to see them rapidly back out of a lot of the garbage that's been going on in the last decade. Like, the Funko Pops, the incessant, like, concentration on things that aren't gaming but gaming adjacent, maybe. So, all the knickknacks and all the like t-shirts and just toys and shit, you're gonna see that stuff start to be eliminated because they're not making money on any of that shit. It goes clearance, and then they're not making the money they spent back on it. And that's the biggest problem right now, is all that stuff that's being sent, like, it sits on shelves for months, and then it gets marked down clearance, and then maybe they're lucky. Maybe grandma and grandpa walk in and find, Timmy a little toy or knickknack for Christmas or his birthday or something, and they pick it up when it's on clearance super cheap. So they're not making that money back, and that's happening all the fucking time. If you don't believe me, just go walk into a GameStop. It's insane. The actual game part of GameStop is very, very minimal today. It's almost as bad as, like, if you go into a Best Buy or something. Like, the shelves, like, yes, the store still pretty much, if you walk around it, is games, but, like, these sections are really small. They don't have as many used games as they used to in stock anymore. They don't have, like, the retro stuff. Like, they eliminated a couple years ago. You don't even see, like, 360 and stuff like that. That's gone. They don't even carry that in most GameStops anymore. There's still PS4, obviously. There's still Xbox One. That stuff's going to be on the shelves, and you're going to see stuff for, like, Nintendo Switch. But a lot of that space has been overtaken by knickknacks, t-shirts, toys, board games, Funko Pops. I think Funko Pops will be an interesting one to watch. I don't know, like, how well that's doing for GameStop, so we'll see if they start to back out of that. But I think the biggest thing to take away from this is, like, this right here, September 28th, 2023, the date of this recording, the date that this email came out. This date marks the beginning officially of the end for GameStop, because this guy, he's going to burn this company down as fast as he can so he can get his golden parachute, like he did with Bye Baby. And he will live on his Chewy money. And don't get me wrong, this stupid part of it, at the end of the email, and I actually was looking at the GameStop Reddit. I don't go on GameStop Reddit very often. because I don't work for the company anymore. But sometimes I do, just to see like what's kind of going on, or like when we get email requests in on the podcast, I'll kind of go and look and see like, okay, is this a thing that's really happening right now? Oh, it certainly is. But I went on just to see, and like the biggest triggering point I've seen on this is his comment of, oh, he's rolling his sleeves up too. No, this motherfucker's not rolling his sleeves up, okay? This dude is living off of his Chewy.com money, the money he got from Buy Baby, and it doesn't matter to him. He's going to burn this company down and get his golden parachute and be done with it. The realistic expectation here for GameStop. So you've heard me say it countless times on the channel. You've heard me say this countless times, pretty much weekly or every other week when we post podcast 572. You hear us say it. If you're still, for some reason, you're still at GameStop, you survived a global pandemic. You've survived all these stupid fucking decisions of the last 10 years that these GameStop executives have forced down your throat. You know, everything from even the most recent one, which is taxing store credit, which is an insane topic I'm not even going to discuss today. You can hear us talk about that on the podcast if you want to know more information, but it's very fucked up. Even if you've lived through all that, it's time to get out. Update your resume, get out of GameStop. It is a sinking ship. It is sinking faster than you can believe. And mark my words, come 2025, if we're still talking about GameStop, we're talking about a website. We're not talking about a retail location, because it's not going to exist anymore. That's my prediction. I'm sticking with it too. Like, I really think this is marking the end of GameStop as we know it. It's funny because I actually was thinking to myself a couple days ago, oh, maybe I'll run into GameStop, and I don't really trade games in anymore, but if I ever need to or ever want to, I will run by my local GameStop and do that. I was actually thinking about reserving Super Mario Wonder. I don't know if I'm even going to do that now. I'll probably just buy it off Best Buy or Amazon or something like I do with most games, because again, I have no indication if the store that is near me is going to last this holiday season. It's pretty dead when I go in there most days that I've been in there. So I don't know, man, but you're going to see stores closing pretty rapidly as they try to wrap this up. So again, I just wanted to put this out there. This email is crazy. But this is the end, guys. Like, this is the end of GameStop as we know it. If you're still there, you're still working there, get out. It's the best thing I can say for you. Get out. Listen to podcast 572 if you don't already. It's on every podcast service: Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, but I guess that's going away soon. But anything that you can get a podcast on, you can get podcast 572 on it. If you want to hear more about GameStop bullshit, we talk about it pretty much every 2 weeks. And otherwise than that, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.